You might recall that earlier in the fall, the Summer Reading Committee sent out an email to news inviting students to join the Summer Reading Committee. It's a really important process to pick the book that the whole school is going to read in the summer, and we really wanted to get student involvement in that choice. So I'm really delighted to officially welcome the newest members of the Summer Reading Committee, and I might add the youngest members of the Summer Reading Committee. So we have Ben Garfinkel, Lily Tyson, come on up, guys. Lily Tyson, and Tommy Robertshaw. So Ben, Lily, and Tommy have gathered some readings, a special reading from The Power of One, and our very talented guest musicians, Reina Kawakami, and Natalie Tam will share their special gift of music, playing Chopin, just as Doc shared it with the young PK. So please listen and enjoy, and thank you.
Okay, so as Ms. Taylor just said, a lot of Lily, Tommy, and I are the student members of the Summer Reading Committee, and a lot of what the Summer Reading Committee does is not just assign the book for next year, but also try to find ways to integrate last summer reading book into programs throughout the year. I guess the idea is that because, at least in theory, we've all read The Power of One, it can provide sort of a shared jumping off point for approaching other topics and works of art. So with that idea in mind, what we're going to be doing today is focusing in on one of the smaller elements of The Power of One, the music. You might remember that in the story, Doc and PK play music by Chopin quite a few times. So today, in just a few minutes, Reina and Natalie will be performing 2 Chopin pieces on piano called Revolution and Polonaise Opus number 26. So to lead into that, right now, Lily and Tommy are going to read a short passage from The Power of One dealing with music.
Doc lost no time getting started, and the commandant was still on his way to his seat when the first notes of the Chopin nocturne filled the hall. At first, the music was wonderfully relaxed, deceptively simple and straightforward, and then, as the recital continued, the melody line became more and more ornamental. Doc's finger technique was remarkable, as the delicate filigree writing for the right hand came into play. In the middle section, the music became more and more complex, fast and urgent, leading to a long crescendo and frenzied climax where Doc could shake his head a lot and bang furiously at the keys, which he knew the audience would like. The nocturne ended with an elegant descent and steps towards a rustling, almost muted, final chord. Doc had chosen well. Chopin's Nocturne No. 5 is not difficult music to understand, and it is very beautiful. The audience stood up, clapped, and seemed very pleased. Doc rose and took a bow and nodded for me to return to my seat next to Mrs. Boxall. Then he removed several sheets of music from inside his piano stool and fixed them carefully to the music rack. He turned to the audience and cleared his throat. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight I would like to dedicate this next piece of music, which I have played only once before, to a friend, a very good friend. I have named this music by his name, and it is for him. I give you Requiem for Heel Pete.
Without further ado, Doc sat down at the Steinway and commenced to play the Concerto of the Great Southland, which he had now renamed. The melodies of the tribal songs seemed to take over the hall as the Ndebele song followed the Sotho with its more strident rhythm, Doc's hand taking the part of the solo high-pitched voice, and the left chasing it, as the singers themselves had done. The Swazi melody followed, and then the Shangaan, each separated by the haunting refrain that carried a hint of each, yet acted to lead away from the one and into the other. Finally came the victory song of the great Shaka, and the Steinway seemed to build the drama of the magnificent Zulu impi, the chords crashing as they marched into battle. The Requiem closed with a muted and very beautiful compilation of the songs of the tribes. The music seemed to swell, as all around us from the cells beyond the hall, the voices came as the tribes completed the Requiem. Heel Pete, who had had no tribe, whose blood was the mixture of all the people of southern Africa, the white tribe, the Bushman, the Hottentot, the Cape Malay, and the black tribal blood of Africa itself, was celebrated in death by all the tribes. He was the new man of southern Africa, the result of 300 years of torture, treachery, racism, and slaughter in the name of one color or another. There was a special kind of silence as the performance ended. To our own was joined the silence of the listeners beyond the hall. We had all been a part of the lament for Africa. Requiem for Heel Pete was a lament for all of us, the tears shed for South Africa itself. Reina Kawakami will now play The Revolution by Chopin. Natalie Tam will now play Polonaise number 26, also by Chopin.